Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to the SAC Podcast. It's been, 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
month, Rays.
A
A
month?
month.
Wow. Time flies during the holidays. That is for certain. Um. Oh my God.
Yeah, we did take a month off as a staff team. Obviously, our lovely competitors were not the only people participating in Ludi. And also the holidays. You know, you can't forget about those. I mean, there was Ludi going on, but you know.
Yeah. The fact that we talked about Ludi before the holidays
Yeah.
feels a little wrong, but
Yeah.
this is a Splatoon podcast, so it is what it is.
It's almost like I did it on purpose, Rays.
Almost. That being said, it has been a month. Let's quickly review Tournament 3. Let's talk about the standings, and then get into our other topics, like maybe Tournament 4, and go from there.
Yeah, so Tournament 3 was really exciting for me personally because I did, in the previous podcast that was a month ago, roast some of my lovely friends over on Elongated and told them to get their act together publicly. And what do you know? They did, coming in first place in Qualifier 3. So we love that for them. They have sealed their ticket to SAC Season 8 Finals, which is getting ever closer. And then second place went over to Demolition. So we're starting to understand what our finals bracket is going to be looking like.
Absolutely. And not to be left out, Half-Life did get third, and Fishies in the Lake got fourth. So securing some points there for our wild card teams.
Yes.
And then, yes, here's the bracket for everyone at home. Take a quick look.
You can see a lot of people on this this sheet have started getting their wild card points in, right? Fishies on the Lake has success. They're in. They have won their wild card slot. And just to refresh everybody on the wild card point system for SAC, because some of you might not remember that SAC used to entirely be a point system before we transitioned to a first and second place making it into finals in season 7, and then the third seeds for each qualifier are go based off of a wildcard system. So if you don't place within finals, you get 3 points for third place, 2 points for fourth, and then if you make top cut at all, you get 1 point. So Fishies on the Lake with getting third place in Q1, third place again in Q2, third place again in Q3. They have successfully sealed their ticket to they got fourth place in Q3, but they have enough points now to be looking at finals. Other teams on this bracket that you're seeing that have wildcard points, so we'll see what it looks like after finals. We have Eggshells here. We have La 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 La, Half-Life, COK Entiendo. All those teams have wildcard points to be thinking about.
Yeah, and so for reference, I'm going to go ahead and read the points out just to be so everyone kind of has an idea what that point scale looks like and why Fishies on the Lake is actually locked in. Fishies on the Lake has 8 points. And they're locked in. The next closest is Eggshell with 4 points. Then under Eggshell is Half-Life at 3 points. And notice that big jump between Fishies on the Lake and Eggshells.
Yeah.
That's why they're locked in, is it's going to be rather challenging for anyone to upset them in those rankings. So it's now
impossible, actually.
Well, correct. You're right. I don't know why I said rather challenging. So right now there's 3 wild card spots heading into qualifier 4.
Correct.
To get into finals. So with 4 points, 3 points, and 3 points, Eggshell, Half-Life, and La 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 La, none of whom I think are currently signed up for qualifier 4.
No. Not currently.
Are the current wildcard teams looking for finals. That being said, none of them are signed up. So I'm not, Roundy has been doing these rankings. I'm not familiar with how likely it is that, for example, Eggshell is to get upset, if that's going to change a lot.
Yeah.
But with none of them playing tomorrow, there is potential there, I imagine.
The number one team that I'm looking at right now is actually Unlimited Woomy United, who did not play in qualifier 3. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. I'm not looking at it right this second. Actually, I can look at that right this second. They did not play qualifier 3. Ha ha. So Unlimited Woomy United is currently anticipating playing qualifier 4. Well, anything can happen in the next 12 hours. You never know. Somebody's router could literally explode. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But Unlimited Woomy United, if they make top cut, and they'll just making top cut brings them to 3 points, which then the tiebreaker becomes total top 8 wins, which Uwu is beating over La 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 La, having 4 total top 8 game wins, and not just based off of the point system. So Unlimited Woomy United, if nobody else plays tomorrow and they totally tank it in gold bracket, they potentially could be in it. I'm excited. I also think Unlimited Woomy United has a chance at winning the thing. So we'll see, Rays.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about qualifier 4 here in a second. But I want to quickly, throw some attention over to silver bracket for qualifier 3 and quickly go over this. Persistence getting first in silver bracket, Mutiny getting second. Distinct.
Let's go.
Distinct getting fourth, and Sub Power Up getting third. So the a lot of O3s and O2s, but then finals being that 3-1. Maybe in this upcoming tournament, we can see a little bit closer in the silver bracket area. That being said, like Distinct is signed up for qualifier 4. Love to see that.
Yes.
Is Persistence? I feel like I saw Persistence, but I feel like I see Persistence everywhere.
Persistence is not currently signed up for qualifier 4. That can change. Yeah. We got 2 hours left to sign up. 2 hours, points and octos. That is not a lot of time. So go sign up.
But it is enough time. So it is enough time. Yeah, but that being said, this silver bracket, definitely interesting. Some familiar faces down here. Are there any matches here or in the gold bracket that kind of were unexpected in your opinion?
Ooh, now you're asking the heavy hitting questions.
Yeah.
Elongated defeating Fishies on the Lake. In gold bracket. For semifinals, I think is huge. Fishies on the Lake is a team that has consistently been placing on the top half of the bracket throughout all of season 8. So seeing Elongated take that match, I was feeling a little bit comfortable watching them go into finals. Because that is a demon and a half to get through.
Yes. Yeah, that definitely. The bracket demon was conquered before finals. Like, it's one of those things, whenever you see, like, FT Win and Starburst face in semifinals, where you're like, no, that's not semifinals, that's finals. Everyone else is just competing to see who will lose in finals. Like, the results might tell a different tale, but the most interesting match happened a little sooner in the tournament, perchance.
Sometimes it happens.
A match that I would have liked to see, looking at this, Fishies on the Lake 2-1 La 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 La. That one could have potentially been interesting. And then Half-Life 2-1 Eggshells. The high seeds won out both those games, but based on the set score, they were a little closer than I think Half-Life and Fishies on the Lake wanted.
Yeah, for those who don't know how we pick matches to go on stream, seeding from the first half of the tournament ends up realistically so that you have the top two from each group seeded top to bottom, and then they get shuffled. But like your seed 1 is typically in group A, seed 2 group B, so on and so forth. But so when we're looking at seeds for bracket, typically we like to pick the closest matches in seed that to put on stream. So for round 1, Eggshells and Mad Lag Paradise were seeds 7 and 10. Match number 10, which was 252 buff attack Probominable and elongated, were seeds 4 and 5. And then we hopped over to match 14, which was 2 and 6. So ultimately we ended up with a grand finals that was seed 5 and 6, which is interesting to me. But for the more interesting sets of quarterfinals actually appeared to be the matches that on paper you would expect to be blowouts. Which is fascinating bracket math, if you would.
I mean, that's just called getting unlucky. Because
yeah,
it's one of the things when tournament organizers pick matches, we have to trust that everyone's having a good day and kind of playing their best or playing to at least our expectations. But the fun thing about tournaments is that never happens. Someone's always playing hot and someone's always playing cold. So that's when picking matches like this end up just not working out. And sometimes this happened a bunch. This happened to me a bunch, where players will come up to me after the fact or message me and go like, "Hey, why did you pick that match? Why didn't you do this match?" And I'm like, because I can't know everyone, unfortunately.
I'm gonna be so real with you, Raze. Usually I'm the match picking demon. I was on a land this so you can blame me for having a life.
Splatoon players touching grass? It can't be.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was at a LAN. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's fun.
But yeah. So Tournament 3, definitely a very interesting event in the rearview mirror. Congratulations to Elongated and Demolition for locking in your spot in finals. But now, where do we want to go? Do we want to talk about patch? Do we want to preview Tournament 4? Do we want to do some combination? What do you think the vibes are?
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like we're all injecting patch into our veins. That's just where I'm at right now. So in terms of things that I'm looking forward to, that are gonna come out of this patch into qualifier 4, Stamper Neo, Foil Squeezer. That's what we're gonna be seeing.
Okay. For reference, Foil Squeezer, for the kits, for people who might not know, Auto Bomb splat screen on the Squeezer, and then on the Neo Splatana Stamper, Toxic Mist and Crab Tank.
It's just a space controlling demon out of the Stamper, which is already an impressive zone control, right? Like it keeps you at an arm's distance and says, "Thou shalt not pass," but also I'm hitting you for 70. So, and then now it has Toxic Mist and Crab. To me, that makes perfect sense for the weapon.
Yeah. The one thing that I find very interesting about this patch, there weren't a lot of balance changes, and everyone on Twitter kind of went all over that and has talked about that. The really interesting things to me are the weapon kits, because the weapon kits to me scream anti-aggro. They're just trying to slow everything down, especially Screen. Yes. So everything is trying to counteract Cooler. And kind of the premier way that they've introduced is screen.
Yeah.
Is just throwing up a screen on a choke and saying, you're going to take 30 damage, you're going to go colorblind, and good luck.
Yeah,
and then trying to fight.
I think these things. All right, I'm not a game developer. Take my opinions with a grain of salt. But the way the Splatoon 3 team has been dealing with things that are very overtuned, like Cooler, by instead introducing options to combat it, is very fascinating to me. And we saw that with Crab Tank, right? The Zuka buff, which indirectly nerfed Crab. Bubble got buffed at some point, correct me if I'm wrong. Trip Strikes, Whale, all of these things just say, all right, welcome to the Boyle crustacean. And so seeing Cooler have direct counters without an extreme nerf to it is fascinating to me. Even Splashdown, right? Say the enemy team's running at you and you got your dualies just ready to drop on their head. Anything goes, right? I think you could really start effectively punishing the mistakes of a Cooler team if they get a little bit too trigger happy.
I mean, yes, but the big reason why we haven't seen any movement on Cooler in the past is because of what he does and how it does it. So what Cooler does is it makes it so that your mistakes are not mistakes anymore.
Yeah.
Instantly respawn, lose no special charge, you swim faster, you like all on the list of things it does, all of them are oops, you overstepped, that doesn't matter. But with stuff like Screen, slowing people down and then dealing damage to them to 30 damage, which hits a lot of important breakpoints in Splatoon in general, it's going to make people think twice. I don't think we're going to see a lot of it in Tournament 4 because like these weapons are brand new. So bringing out brand new picks that are literally came out 2 days before the tournament, generally not a good idea unless you have nothing to lose. So like it's one of the things I would expect to see a lot of the like 5 through 8 teams trying these new picks out, but like the top end of these teams I would expect to stay on somewhat similar compositions overall. Because while a lot of these weapons are nice, unless you like have a blaster player or have a dually player or have a squeezer player, it's hard to utilize these new picks effectively.
I think that there are a lot of competitors who have spent a lot of time, thanks to the Cooler meta, developing their skills on their main weapon, right? Everybody says, well, a portion of the community says that the meta right now is defined by Cooler and main weapons, which is a good thing, in my opinion. So honestly, I disagree on the probability of us seeing these kits, given that squeezer players are about that squeezer. Stamper players are about that Splatana Stamper. The other weapons, I don't expect to see any blaster, maybe a singular S-Blast in the group stage. The other picks, maybe not, but also V-Dualies has been up there in the sauce for a hot minute, right? So a dually kit that doesn't require disengaging, I think would be considered very strong in the hands of a dually player. Especially while people aren't they have forgotten to watch their HUDs and watch for splashdown. So I think the probability that we will see at least one of the new weapons in finals is actually pretty strong, particularly at this mid-level, which number one, people were talking about it with their teams prior to this. It's not like we just all of a sudden we got these kits, we saw them all for the first time last night, we have to start figuring them out. People have been theory crafting around these kits for a hot minute, Raise, as I'm sure you would know. So people might be battle ready with them.
And I hard disagree.
Really?
theory crafting and actually making something work are completely different.
Yeah, agree.
So saying people have theory crafted for a while, that's true, and I agree with that. However, that does not mean that you're ready to execute it. So, like, again, having a specific main, I'm going to use Dooley as an example. Squeezer might be better, but I think Dooley is probably the weapon that we're most likely to see throughout the tournament because its kit is, it's similar to Emperry's from S2, which people have a lot of experience on. But then Splashdown has a very low skill floor, in my opinion, especially with the change of the 2 new fists. In comparison, something like Screen is completely new. It is never before seen. So you either have to play it on an undercover Brella, which there's like 4 people total who actually want to play that weapon, or a foil Squeezer, which is a very challenging weapon to play. And Squeezer, a lot of its power came from its Zuka and from its wall. The wall gave it the ability to actually square up for fights consistently in a medium long range, and then Zuka gave it the ability to deal with anchors. Now you're removing that ability, so you have to fundamentally change how you're playing that weapon.
I will shake on V Dooley's being probable tomorrow, but I actually think the number goes to Neo Splatana. Crab.
And again, Stamper was so critical, like Burst Bomb was so critical to how Stamper played in terms of securing kills very quickly. Fair. So right now, all of the Stamper players have this idea of I need to play aggressively to get value out of my Burst Bomb and just pretend I don't have a special. And now I think that's flipped, where you're playing much more for your special than you are for your sub-weapon, where you're throwing Mist to enable a good crab tank, instead of I'm just going to throw a lot of Burst Bombs and pretend Zipcaster doesn't exist, because everyone kind of handshakes that Zipcaster's not great. So I think it's going, like, if we see a Stamper player come tomorrow on Neo Stamper, I think it is a reasonable expectation for them to not play as well as they would if they were on a vanilla Stamper. And that, I think, is potentially exploitable. So for teams who are really serious about winning tomorrow, I would expect to see them on their old picks because they know how to play those old picks, and those are easier to adapt on.
All right, Reyes, we're taking a bet.
Oh, God.
Out of all the new kits, okay, 2 bets actually.
Okay.
I am betting that we will see at least 1 new weapon in the grand finals set.
Okay, I don't think that's much of a bet.
Okay, then we're not betting that.
I think I would be
is going to be the most common new weapon
and
on
parries.
tomorrow. And
parries.
I'm writing it down.
If it's not, like, I would be so surprised if it's not parries, because they're the one weapon in this patch that I think you can just pick up and start playing like nothing happened. Like, I think everything else that is meta relevant requires a learning curve that would make it challenging to pull out this soon. And I think the only reason you would pull out something like that this soon is for the surprise factor. Again, that's why I think the 5 through 9 teams are going to try to play off meta, is to catch the 1 through 4 teams off guard and just sneak a game to get points for their wild card pick.
I'm putting my bet on foil Squeezer.
Okay.
I just have a good feeling about it in my heart, Reyes.
I mean, you know what? Sometimes that's all you need.
Yep. And if you win, I will mail you a Reyes champ.
No.
Okay. What are our stakes, Reyes?
I don't know. I'm just spewing words.
All right. If you win, I have to tweet you were right. If I win, you have to tweet I was right. Deal?
Fine.
Let's go.
It'll be the first tweet that I've made in like 6 months.
I don't know. changing the subtitle.
All right.
Ay. Let's talk about the players.
Okay. All right. There are a few interesting teams and qualifiers for a few things that stood out to me personally, and I'm interested to hear if they stood out to you too. I'm just going to start at the top. My favorite to win the tournament, Secret Elixir. Of the teams currently signed up, I think they're most likely to do the best.
Yeah.
And to win the fourth qualifier. And I don't think that's like a super hot take, but I'm curious if you think there's any wild cards or underdogs who could upset Secret Elixir.
Okay. Looking at these teams, I shake on Secret Elixir. However, because we're on a podcast and it would be boring if I agreed with you, I'm actually rooting for Unlimited Woomy United. And then we kind of both agreed that our sleeper pick, hoorays, if you would.
Oh, the Howdy Hat Pirates?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little story here. So before the podcast, me and Skep talk just generally about how things are going and just seeing if anyone stands out. Yeah. The one person who stayed out, I was like, oh, this team name, great, fantastic, the Howdy Hat Pirates. And I was like, I'm gonna look into them. And then I went and followed their Twitter, and they instantly followed me back. But yeah, they're the people who I hope do the best just because I like their name. Yeah,
I will out myself here. We were having a discussion on our team name preferences. Ray's likes colorful names. I like the edgelord names. I like names that don't scream pickup. And it's Howdy Hat Pirates is a name that I look at that screams pickup, but turns out they're a team. They have a Sendo bio. So that's plus 1 point in my book. The team Sendo.
Yeah. So they're like my underdog pick.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a third team who I expect to do well, it would probably be Tapwater. Because they've been around for a bit. I was reading through the results. They'd won a low ink under a different name. So I think like this, I personally would like to see like a Tapwater Secret Elixir final or like an Uwu Secret Elixir, like some combination of those three teams. Because I think that would be very cool because you either have the two low ink teams facing off, being Tapwater and Secret Elixir, or you have Secret Elixir and Uwu facing off for like the 1 and 2 seed respectively. But then like you can get I think we should rank the bracket so that Tapwater and Secret Elixir face. We should figure that out. After the podcast, we should figure that out. So we can put that on stream.
Who's out here trying to get me canceled? Yeah, for the unfamiliar who shared low ink days with me, Tapwater played under the name of Yay Croutons. If you recognize that name, if they showed up on the other side of your lobby, you were scared. They were bracket buzzsaws. I believe, I might be wrong. I believe they went 6-0 and they were just one of those teams that would, you know.
Yeah.
The teams that would do the doing. Yay Croutons was one of them.
Yeah. See, now I'm kind of interested.
Yeah.
I don't know much about low ink teams. I only watch casually. I wonder what they've been up to since then.
Oh,
like,
I mean,
because I've seen Secret Elixir like around a bunch playing in like SOSs and other weekly tournaments, and I've faced their players in Open and Series. But like as a team, I've never really kept up with the players of Tapwater at all, really. So what is there any background context information that would make that matchup more enjoyable to watch?
Okay, so you're asking me for information from a year ago, because this is
Oh,
like before Aquapora disbanded. So we used to scrum them a lot, and it was always sometimes it was even, sometimes it was we were getting curb stomped. Brings back fond memories. um, Yay Croutons ran like front aggro, we're running you down, we're skill checking you type weapons. The kind of team that is, if you didn't have your comms in order, like if you weren't communicating well, you were just gonna fold. That kind of team. So, I don't expect that to have changed. They're mechanically inclined, playing a mechanically driven meta.
mhm.
Um,
Okay.
those are my thoughts, Raise.
So I went to the commentator doc.
They're not there.
Apparently,
Oh, go on.
no, well, to the spreadsheet, the secret commentator doc that's not for commentators because it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So their comp is Slosher, Charger / Pencil, so probably a pencil in this meta. Blaster and Shot, Splash or 52.
How did you
So
find it? Oh,
is tap water.
I found
It's
them.
yeah.
I must have spelled something wrong.
So yeah. So okay. So this team, hopefully, they're the people who play S Blast. Hopefully, Tapwater pulls
Oh,
out the new S Blast.
I think that's
The
pretty
new
likely from just having known them. Like
yeah.
they will throw things at a wall and see if it sticks. Like I don't see them as the type of team to hesitate to pull something out new out.
Yeah, like Custom Blaster is a little bit much of an ask right now, I think. Because it's feast or famine. Polarizing is another word I would like to use there. Because sensor splashdown. Um, you know where everyone is, but it's hard to do anything about it sometimes. But S Blast doesn't have that problem with Burst Bomb and Booyah. So I think seeing the new S Blaster in this type of composition with people who are mechanically skilled would be really, really entertaining.
I completely agree. I'm excited to see them back. I knew that they were Yay Croutons, but according to their response, that's why you fill out the doc. That they're all original Yay Croutons members. Which makes me be happy that they're still around. I know they went around, they did their pickup thing for a hot minute, but they came back home. Uh, and that matters to me. They also played together in High Ink 3. I did not catch that, which is terribly unfortunate.
Mhm.
Let me.
Okay, hold on. I need to figure out if they have a funny quote. Where's the funny quote? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Where Toad made an utterly ridiculous super jump in a scrim. Don't worry, Okay, interesting. All right, so the quote they submitted, or what they put in the box, I'll just read it out for everyone. Quote, we had a time where Toad made an utterly ridiculous super jump in a scrim, parenthesis, we were losing badly, and shouted to our captain, don't worry, I have Ninja Squid. Only to immediately get splatted, forgetting that Ninja Squid is not stealth jump. So,
Geniuses.
absolutely, that, you know what? That sounds like a blaster play right there.
Yeah.
I hope that's the blaster player doing all the blaster players proud right there.
You know.
Um,
Yeah.
so
That is 3 Super Toad. That is the blaster player. You called it.
let's go.
Let's go. Yay Croutons, currently known as Tap Water. I look forward to seeing that. Another team that I would look at them and be like, pickup name, but it's not. Proving me wrong. I can be wrong. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Shut up,
All
Reese.
right. So another team who I see a lot, who we've talked about a fair bit, but I think deserves mention, My Like Paradise.
Oh my god, I love them.
They're currently signed up for qualifier 4. Do they have? I think they don't have any wild card points. So I think in order to get in, they would have to win.
Yeah.
Right? They would have to get first or second in qualifier 4 to get in.
My Like Paradise is one of those teams, shout out to their low ink band with this Looney season, that had been playing low ink for such a long, excruciating time. The kind of team that you always felt like, oh, they could win it, but they never do, so they're not going to. You know the ones who totally have played together long enough, are close enough as a team, are skilled enough, but they just don't seal the deal.
Yeah.
I want to see them do it.
Yeah. So there are two types of teams like that. There's the teams that face the 1 seed in semifinals or quarterfinals, and then there's the teams who lose in finals. Which one are they? Are they the 2nd seed who can never quite finish it out? Or are they the 3rd or 5th seed? Well, it would be the 4th or 5th seed who can never quite upset the favorite.
Unfortunately, as much as I love them and cherish them and appreciate them, Harry is always in my Twitch chat being a guy, being a supporter. I love Harry in particular. From the bottom of my heart, I hope they prove me wrong. But I think that they're the kinds that have a close match, something happens, and then it just doesn't get done. So I want to be wrong. I want them in finals. I want to see what they've done post low ink ban, because I think they're a team that plays better in scrims.
For sure.
Nerves, right? You don't know. But we'll see. I'm sorry.
Tournaments are completely different than scrims, and I completely understand that. That's one of the things where time is the greatest teacher. Just playing in tournaments, getting those reps in, and then eventually you're going to get over the nerves, and you're going to start playing like it's scrims, and you're going to start doing better. And there's only so much you can do in that regard, except just wait and stew, and that it sucks, but it's really important to a team's growth.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think they're the type of team to last, though, which is something that they have going for them. There's they have like 4 rounds of We Survived Ludi t-shirts. Like they're on a collector's mission with those things. Like they're like My Like Paradise. Please don't let me down. We'll always be around.
And this just in from Twitter. Are there any other teams that catch your eye, or do we want to potentially talk about finals?
I want to talk about the Howdy Hat Pirates, because they made me laugh. Okay.
All right. Let's talk about the Howdy Hat Pirates.
Apparently, they have VOD reviewed with Volty. This just in. That's huge.
True.
My favorite quote from Howdy Hat Pirates is my therapist is going to know the splash pads of the enemy because once.
That's a fantastic quote. That's 10 out of 10 right there.
Right, yeah. That is on par with "May your elves be many in your maiden's view."
That's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I love that quote. That's all. Oh,
that's
also, we asked them, how would you like to wrap up this year of competitive Splatoon? And I quote, Parshi says that he wants to make a comp with Explo. As the scribe that I am using my executive power to overrule them. Because
Nice.
scribes have executive power. Because
Well,
that's
yeah,
how that
when you're writing stuff down, you could just choose not to
Oh,
write
yeah.
something down. So
Yeah.
you know what? Sure. Even
Yeah.
though it might not technically be right, for now, it's funny, so it's right.
And then I realize now that even though you and I both are handshaking that Secret Elixir wins this one out, we didn't read any of their quotes, which is an L.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
how when you have when your teammate does something cool or posts a really hot take on Twitter that you agree with, even though you would never say it, or
Uh-huh.
not that I have that kind of restraint, but
Mm-hmm.
but you understand where I'm getting at. Your
Mm-hmm.
teammate goes in, they get a quad, and they're in the enemy spawn, and
Sure.
you say, "That's my teammate," right? You're filled with pride for your teammate, right?
Uh-huh. Okay, where's this going?
Secret Elixir, after anyone does anything stupid, will say, "That's my Div 3 teammate." It's the Div 3 that sells that for me.
No way. See, is that like Div 2 Easy Clap?
That might have the same spirit, yeah.
Okay. So just actually, is that a okay, no, I'm not gonna have the existential crisis right now. It's fine.
Div 2 Easy Clap is very slightly before my time, Raise. Yes, that one does make you old.
Okay,
However,
we'll have the existential crisis later.
I do think my generation of Splatoon players does understand that joke.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Your saves for today.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one that gets me is someone jump him in all caps and then in parentheses, bro had it coming. Yeah.
Nice.
Secret Elixir.
Secret Elixir.
I'm excited. I love OBT. OBT, a real one. One of my fellow Arizonans.
Oh, okay, cool. Wait, is Arizona stacked? Now that they have a local, are they stacked?
So stacked. Like let's just say this round of Sunset Surge is gonna be pretty stacked. Like I'm
Interesting.
excited for it.
Interesting. That's something to talk about a different time.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Okay. We talked a little bit about the Howdy Hat Pirates. Talk some more about Secret Elixir. Since I don't think we're gonna have a podcast before finals, are we?
Before finals?
Yeah, because it's next week.
I haven't made up my mind on that. We might.
Oh, it's not?
Finals is next week. So we can talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, since we're not having a podcast next week, we should probably talk a little bit about finals. But if we might have one, we won't talk about finals.
It would be responsible to have one.
It would be responsible for us. It would. Well, I feel like we would also have to try harder. So, yeah, I don't know.
The commentary doc will be updated.
Okay, true.
We will try harder, and bracket will be seated so we have extra juicy tidbits to talk about.
Oh, fun. Okay, so sure.
Okay.
All right.
That being said, we can talk about who is currently seated in finals, like who we have.
Let's do that. Okay. So the list, according to the document I'm looking at, which is probably right. Correct. The Final Reckoning, Captain Happy Crew, Elongated, Velocity, Get Your Money Up, and Demolition are the 6 teams qualified so far from wins. And then Fishies on the Lake is a qualified wild card team.
Yes. So we have the 2 slots for the first and second place of qualifier 4, and then 3 remaining wildcard slots, which so far would be going to Eggshells, Half-Life, and La 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 La. So.
Okay. So, yeah.
That's I'm excited just looking at those names. We don't even have bracket yet.
It's definitely going to be good. It's definitely going to be good. See, this is one of the things where may the 3-2s be plentiful type deal. May all your matches be close.
I like that. I've never heard that phrase. May the 3-2s be plentiful, but I think you're cooking, right?
Well, it's one of those things. As a player in a TO, there are two wolves fighting inside of me. One wants only 3-0s, and one wants only 3-2s. And depending on what hat I'm wearing on any given day, depends on what hat wins.
Yeah.
Today, the TO hat is on, so I want a lot of 3-2s. But when I'm playing, I want to only 3-0 people because A, it's faster, and B, it means it's not even close, and I'm just simply assembled alternatively.
Yep. Constructed contrastingly. Designed divergently.
All right, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that one.
Oh yeah. You just brought up a really lovely memory, right?
So, okay.
That being said, that's what we have, folks.
That's it.
We have our expected winners. We have our finals qualifiers. It's just a matter of getting the show on the road. And unlike previous seasons of SAC, which had 3 weeks in between the qualifiers and the finals, we're going right into it. The
going
season
right
of
into the
SAC
finals
will be over
in 2
next
weeks.
week.
Yeah.
So I'm mind boggled, truly. And then we'll see what comes next for 2024.
Things are looking up.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I'm fairly confident when I say for IPL in general and SAC, things are looking up. But I think with that, it's time to sign off.
Where can the good people find you, Rays?
The good people can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Rays_splat. Yeah, those are the two main places to find me. I don't tweet very often. I might have to tweet tomorrow, but we'll see. I think I'm right. But where can the good people find you?
Hi. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at Skepidilians as seen on screen. I'm streaming a bit more, which is nice.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's
that being said, please continue to support IPL on Twitch, on Twitter at IPL Splatoon. Go subscribe to our YouTube. We have a bunch of people who have been working behind the scenes tirelessly to get VODs up to date. I believe all of the Low Ink VODs are out, and I think all of the SAC VODs are out, and now they're working. And SOS. Yeah. So a lot of the tournaments are up to date. So if you've played in the past and you want to look, go subscribe to the IPL YouTube channel, please. I'm not asking anymore. I'm telling.
It's really important. Please go do it.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you guys next week. Tomorrow.
You'll see me tomorrow. Behind the TO desk. Stay fresh.
Thanks for watching.
if it's a comfort fit for them, then, they got it. And Sigio got the first pop. Let's see what they do, because, I want to see so more out of these guys. They done so much, especially from game 1, but just couldn't do it. But, as soon as I said that, that is a wipeout, and Breakdown is already going to get through the first checkpoint. This is a commentator's curse.
Value right now. Raining Trizukas from Half-Life. Trying to see if they can find any value. Not quite yet. The Trizuka did find one, and a second on everybody from Subpar Up is down right away. Take advantage of it. They got an Inkjet. They got the Trizuka. Correctly pops the Trizuka right away. They got two off the Trizuka. Just kind of slowing down. There's the Inkjet from Astral. Astral is shut down by the squeezer.
On Elongated, trying to... They actually do get a pick this game.
Yeah, especially they get a pick on Akini too. No Suka standing. Oh, Banelin's just getting the triple and securing an exit.
The brush is also going to go down. That Suka is trying to sniff out the Rainmaker, but they go down.
So they have to get so many members down. As soon as I said that, that's another wipeout by Breakdown. What is happening?
3 wipeouts on the board, and the Trizuka already finding one. Now you're going to get to see Subsidian kind of just standing in, just trying to find their way through Ashton's stage. See, and the rest of the crew just trying to find more. They get 3 down. We already see another wipeout, and the Trizuka painting from distance, sealing the deal. Breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, we hear the Zuka come out as well, trying to kind of support their teammates here. We see the Cooler as well. I think that was a bomb double. Yeah. That must feel good on Demolition. We're sweating, but bombs always coming clutch. Azuka coming out, getting another pick on the side of Elongated. Another pick, 2 picks with the same Zuka.
I'm right.
Rain weak. Got rain.
I'm right.
Dead. Nice. No.
Okay.
At the top right.
Pop the rain.
Go for rain.
I'm cooking. Alright, go, pick up. Go.
Elongate is in a good spot. It's all going to be on BD to break that range.
Clams advantage as much as they can, and now things are starting to stagger a bit there for Mutiny. A little bit of a trade. There's that one power clam picked up by Eevee, cashing it in, but where is the follow-up?
Fortunately, it doesn't seem that it's very well for them. They do get taken out. The shot here is in a 1v1 against the SEO on the Carbon. They get 2 with their Zuka.
With control here of less, Half-Life is able to contest nicely as they do take out one right away. There's a little bit of a huge skirmish across the board. I do see members from Half-Life going up, but a lot of members from Subpar going down. It is do or die, and it is going to be the Zolt flip. Gets a KO here. Yuma is able to fire from distance, and that is a wipeout. 1 + 2 more to secure this one home. Or correction, 3 more.
Demolition already has a power plant of their own, and the PD hasn't even spawned yet. They are going to overextend a little bit, but 2 people are going to go down on the side of a wipeout on the side of Elongating here, and Demolition is going to put in 2 power clams.
All the members down. We already see Half-Life already taking some members down, but turning back, power up. Astrum is taking at least 1 pick out of down.
Yeah, right now they got so much control of Syzygia's territory just with all the pain that's being dished out there. Delayed triple is not going to help Syzygia's defensive matters here. And there's that Nautilus just all the way deep. Dude, other than now, Mutiny just cannot get out of base and go for the contest. One last push available.
It is so
going
hard.
Down left in the tank. They lose to Splash on top of the Wyvern's down on the delayed wipe.
It is going to be so hard.
Makes great work of Mutiny.
Now it's starting to flip a little bit in Demolition's favor. We see a few members of both teams go down. Jinx goes down.
Whatsoever, though we do see 2 power lands from Mutiny's side. Eevee was just waiting, playing very patiently with that Stamper. Not able to land some of these shots. They don't need to land them too much, though, as the rest of the team has to work for as much as they can. The bomb does take out one. It is a bit of a trade, though, and the APAC does take out 4 points. Lots of blowing have occurred, but there's Acing. Acing finds 1, and there's the lead change. The Stamp has been eliminated. 23 points remaining.
Okay, they're still there. They're still trying to get it. At least they touch that checkpoint. It's a 2v2. It's a 2v1. It's just Akini with the ballpoint trying to stop things. Akini stopping. Last try, but you need to have someone on tower now. Okay, they do. They have 2 players left on tower with the tactical. They get the jumps in. They get to that second checkpoint. Trying to... and they get a wipeout. They get a wipeout right now. This is the push of a lifetime, Grace.
Oh My god, all of the members of Half-Life are jumping onto the tower, and they get another